What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Apparently we can go to the anatomical opera now, so let's go in. I'm gonna take a drink of water real quick. Well, we didn't get very far.
Keep your wits about you.
Where are my allies? I don't know. I guess it's only us two that are going in here now. Fantastic. Obviously something is going on. Lamps emit rays that hound your pupils, burning and biting them like angry snakes. Through the bars and the grates you're walking on, you see a bottomless abyss. It beckons you to jump in and promises. Oh, this is just like a dream.
I always keep my options open.
Promises an embracer softer than the feather bed in any world. There we go. Rebellious steps are trying to buck you off to make you lose your footing. Mort? This place is creepy.
Is there money to be made?
Thick curtain shoves you away. It is surprisingly strong for a lifeless piece of fabric.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Focusing from the structure turns its flayed face to you with a crack and snickers. Let's save before we get into this. The creature in front of you is a patchwork of skins, stuffed with darkness, corruption, and sharp objects. Staring at you with its scalpel eyes, it grumpily remarks, "Such a disobedient specimen, you're still not dead, an anomaly." Its foul, corrupt thoughts reach out, groping at your face. I need help. But I see you will soon become a very obedient specimen. Convulsive spasms, hysterical reactions. Come here. The creature pokes you in the chest, a triangular fingernail easily penetrating your skin. A strange sound throbs at the edge of your awareness, a sound similar to your own scream. No. Help me, allies? Kill this thing? A grotesque spider-like figure looms over you, its limbs wave frantically, chittering and clicking as they rip something apart, then stitch it back together, and then you realize its canvas is your flesh. The Xenos' gaze is indifferent, and his low voice echoes through the room. The sample has been extracted. The specimen is alive, body and mind expected to function within normal parameters. Okay, examine the Xenos. There's something fundamentally wrong with the Xenos' silhouette, and its twitchy, abrupt movements, and it sets your mind reeling in disgust. Each of its mechanical tools appendages seem designed to be as sickening and horrifying as possible. What happened to me? A control worm in your nervous system detected my proximity. It signaled it was dying by injecting a lethal dose of hallucinogenic euphoriants into your bloodstream. A resourceful individual. The thing in my head is your pet? Drukari holds up the pale maggot, the same one you saw in Marzarai's hands. As you watch tool appendages perform a swift dissection, the maggot's flesh bursts under the scalpel-like claw and blossoms into a disgusting, slimy flower. The Xenos' slow manner of speaking creates an unnerving dissonance with the frantic movements of its limbs. I grew the specimen specifically for you, okay? During your interrogation, it intoxicated your feeble senses to limit unnecessary resistance. What a curious experiment it was. I usually extract control worms from specimens posthumously, but you possess some degree of bodily fortitude. What's this like magnet? Do you eviscerate everything that you get your hands on? Evisceration is one aspect of my most respected art. The scalpel fingers scrape together with a hushed metallic shriek. You did a poor job training your pet if I was able to shake off its influence. With a gurgling sound, the Xenos slowly yet steadily moves his sharp finger to your eye, closer and closer, almost touching, and stops with a sigh. Not now, perhaps later. I'm gonna say nothing. The Xenos clicks his appendage studded with dozens of needle-thin stingers thoughtfully. Are you Tervantius? You're absolutely correct, specimen. I am Tervantius, the Arc Machinator. I got sneezes. Oh, sorry, guys. Homunculus and the conductor of this place that staggers the imagination and soul, my anatomical opera. I'm the rogue trader von Valancius, and I'm not granted permission to extract even a single iota from my body. Curious. Decreased cognitive function, including the loss of basic survival instincts, an unexpected effect of brain intoxication in a lesser organism. The Arbenian urged me to pay attention to your alleged overly gifted self specimen. Let's see if you make a good tool. Same as you, little moth. The Xenos points at a mangled limb toward Yurlet. Unless, of course, the darkness of Kamarag burns you as fast as the others. Yurlet, what does this mean, homunculus? Who knows, Asarani? Who knows? The Xenos makes a chuckling sound. What exactly did the Arbenian tell you about me? The Xenos lets out a strange sound that almost resembles a scoff. This information should not burden your undeveloped mind. The Arbenian told me told me enough to give you a chance to enter my anatomical opera. That's all you need to know. You, a Drukhari, would do business with a human. How remarkably open-minded. Do business? The mongoose looks puzzled. I will do no business with you. I will use you. You survived a battle in the arena, which means you have uncommon parameters for your kind. You are a lesser organism, true, but the towering heights of my wisdom make it difficult to distinguish between your inferiority and the inferiority of most of my kin. What do you want from me? You will return to the arena of the fatal thirst. You will kill a few witches' fosterlings for me. You might even spill the blood of one of the bloodstain's proselytes. The homunculus looks past you as he delivers his imperious speech. They are long overdue for a small lesson in humility. They have forgotten their place. They lack respect. They do not appreciate my work. They fail to recognize my authority. Still, staring into the distance, he continues to list his grievances with maniacal thoroughness. What will I get out of this? Or will you coerce me as you do everyone else? Coercion will be more than enough. If you disobey, I will turn you into material for my creations and ensure that you feel and are aware of every manipulation performed on your flesh. But if you do what I tell you to do, I will let you live a while longer. Cooperation will increase your odds of survival. As long as you continue to be of use, I will maintain your organic parts and perhaps even let you play with some of my less significant samples. I do not serve enemies of humanity, but I will never turn down the opportunity to kill a few Xenos. The response is acceptable. If you behave like a good specimen, Monke, you may eventually receive my help and escape in Kamara. The Fleshmaster is mad enough to help us escape in favor of his own unholy designs, but the price Elmatak will be unfair and terrible. Obedience will be rewarded. Take your crude gear with you. I abhor such technological banality, but a creature as underdeveloped as you may find it useful. You hear one of the joints in Tervanitius's arms click. As for your task, Abbas the bloodstained proselytes are here right now in my anatomical opera. Go and look at the ones who will be your executioners when the time comes for you to die. Wait, did you just give me my gear back? Please just re-equip everything. I don't think it's gonna. The contents of the injector bubble playfully as if urging you to find out whether the liquid inside is poisoning medicine. Oh my god, I have to go through and try to re-equip everything that I had on. Oh no. We'll do that in a minute. You vividly remember lying on this table and watching your mechanical pincers tear through your flesh. Adira! Adira Tlass is staring at you as if she's seen a ghost. There's a strange, eerie-looking device at her head and a tangle of myriad thin, translucent threads coiled in her elaborate, sickening patterns on her temples. Many of those threads go inside the skin on her neck and clavicles. Lord Captain, you're alive. Adira, what are you doing here? Adira glances around the room and looks back at you with a tinge of guilt on her face. You know, I thought you were done for good. I thought I'd never see you again, so I tried to start anew. The longer you look at Adira, the more strange details you notice about her appearance. The odd earthy tone of her face, the thin purple veins around her parched, cracked lips, the subtle change in the color of her now lusterless eyes. An unpleasant sense of wrongness comes over you, as if the woman standing before you is not quite alive. What are you talking about? Adira gestures vaguely at the strange harness on her head. See this? It's a reward for my loyalty. When they captured us, I don't remember much from back then. I remember shackles that burned whenever I heard a whisper. I remember injections that made my body go numb. I remember them dragging me away from you. Our three-eyed doll, Cassia, they took her too, along with me. Her body was there, at least. She wasn't moving, wasn't talking, nothing. Then I wound up here, at Master Tervantius's mercy. He studied me, poked me with needles, and opened my head to look what was inside. But then he made the voices stop. He made them stop, Gregor. I don't hear the whispers anymore. How did he make your voices stop? With this, I think. Adira touches one of the tubes in her head. It hurts when he was putting it on. It still hurts, but I got used to it, Gregor. What matters is that the damn door to the other side closed shut. I don't hear the whispers, don't see ghosts of the future, don't get woken up by tormented screams, and don't need to shake in fear because I saw what nightmares I'm headed for. All of it just stopped. I mean, you can't use your powers anymore. I can't, no, and a good thing too, you know. Adira looks around. I think the Xenos are terrified of human witches. Why else would they keep me half delirious and dazed? Or do things that cut our ties to the warp? Oh, they're so scared, they don't even know how else to fight it. This isn't right, Adira. Whatever they do is perverted. Perverted? Ha! Like you know what it's like to be born a witch, to have your name cursed by all and sundry since childhood, to live as worthless, dangerous freak whose only use is to become someone's pet. Adira grits her teeth. I know Lady Theodora wasn't like that, and neither are you, but that's not the point. It made me normal, finally. If it means I have to serve as Xenos, so be it. All those days I spent here, I've lived in blissful silence. No one bothers me, no one torments me, no one is trying to get me from the other side, and on this side nobody notices me at all. I don't want anything else, I just want to be left alone. Adira turns away, teetering slightly from the sharp motion. 70%, 47%, 100%. Everything has a price. Have you considered the price you're paying? I'm helping Master Tervancius. I'm his personal assistant, like a secretary. I do things. Just yesterday, I spent several hours looking for something in the chambers under his operating theater. So many rooms and dead ends down there. I wonder why. The day before that, I was setting up one of the machines. It hurt me once or twice, but I got the hang of it. Adira stops. There's a glint of suspicion in her eye. That's weird. Now that I've said it out loud, these tasks start to sound more like tests. You look as if you're about to die. Whatever that thing is doing to you, it won't last long. I don't look so good. Adira licks her parched lips. Her tongue is swollen and pale. I can't really feel my body. Huh. Never thought I'd be in danger of dying of physical causes and not from my brain melting away. Adira struggles to swallow. You think she might be trying to cry, but no tears come out. But if I decide to leave, the Master Tervancius will surely want it back. Remove this thing, and then the whispers will return. They'll start beckoning me again. What then, Gregor? You promised me, Gregor. Promise we'd think of something, right? And now we know the Xenos have things like this. That means there's hope. Perhaps we can figure out how that thing works, but we will need to remove it first. Adira's eyes light up. You're right. Once we come home, it'll be a cinch to find some xenotech whiz to make sense of it. Alright, that's enough of me running my mouth. It's time. She grabs the device on her head and with both hands begins to pull. The color instantly drains from her face, her eyes bulge, and she bites her lip so hard it starts to bleed. With a sharp sound, the tubes slip out from under her skin, spraying blood mixed with some foul-smelling, ochreish slime, and the device detaches from Adira's head. She lets out a piercing cry, jerks her head from the pain, and then the delicate device clinks as it shatters to smithereens. Well, this is awkward. Adira forces a laugh as she looks at the shards on the floor. It looks like the Xenos are right to call us clumsy animals. Oh well, since it's decided, she sits to look at your fish's glee. Might as well go out with a bang. Lead on, Lord Captain. We have Adira back. We'll level her up here in a minute.
I always have a backup plan.
Sheer primitiveness of your technologies. Go, Specimen. Deliver Tervancius' message of blood to the arena witches. Require aid. You forget yourself, Specimen. Go and serve my will, and should I ever decide to show you favor, I will do so at a time of choosing. My success benefits you. It's reasonable for you to help me. The homunculus waves you off with irritation. If you're unable to make yourself useful, I'd rather wait for you to die and find myself a better tool. You should be worthy of my attention, not to drain on it. We made a deal. You promised you would provide help. Do you not think you're reneging on what we agreed upon? A deal? Tervancius, you wretch. I do not make deals with the likes of you. I command you, and if you insult me again by insinuating that you and I are equals, I'll deprive you of the privilege of cohesive organic existence. Let's kill him. Twice now you've taken advantage of my weakness. There shall not be a third time. Give me all that I demand of you or live to regret it. The homunculus' ribcage opens wide, the skin around it tearing with a wet squelch. You catch a glimpse of his internal organs, coated with strange film and riddled with shapeless growths and mushroom-like tumors. Where one would expect to see a heart, you instead see glistening, translucent mollusk that attaches itself to the Xenos' veins. The revolting thing lets out a groan, and a steam of caustic liquid burns your face. Blinded, you start thrashing as a horrible spasm seizes your throat and prevents you from breathing, and your body convulses in pain. The light around you instantly fades. Oh no! Don't do that. Darkness is dispelled by silver light and the glinting scalpel in Tervancius' hand. The homunculus offers a crooked smile. I keep tossing you from one side of death to the other for as long as I so desire, but I doubt that reanimating you again will be quite as amusing. I would suggest not incurring my displeasure. Choose your words wisely when addressing me, monkey. Afraid I cannot resist the temptation of leaving a few more scars in your overblown sense of self-importance. I see that you are incorrigible, Specimen. My expectations of you were higher than this. If you're incapable of following the simplest of commands, there's no reason to try to use you for something more important. I'll find you a more practical application. One of his mechanical appendages bristles with a crown of barbed hooks that reaches for your face, then inside it. What? It's messed up. Boo. I probably didn't even save after talking to Adira either, did I? That's kind of messed up that we can't even try to fight him. Like, we have weapons. Where'd Adira go? Oh my god, I saved. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. I would like to speak to you about a member of my retinue who was delivered to you. What specimen is in particular interest you? My navigator, Cassio, was with me when we were captured. Where is she now? The female with an exceptionally strong connection to the Veil, as well as a number of rare monkey mutations, most notably a third eye. I'm studying the influence of complete isolation from the Veil and outside world on the specimen's ability, sanity, and physical condition. She no longer screams inside her reservoir, but she is certainly still alive, and I'm not yet ready to conclude the experiment. Those from my retinue deserve better than to be combined by you. Relinquish them. Why would I do that, Specimen? With a full escort, I'll have a better chance of succeeding and contributing to your plans. Then find yourself other fighters. The chasm has enough prisoners, mercenaries, and gladiators, and my specimens are not yours to waste. Find a way to free them, no matter what you do or say. Once they've exhausted the utility, I'll let you take them as scraps. You tortured my tech priest, Pascal. Why? I was curious to see what kind of symbiosis might emerge between rudimentary monkey augments, and my own unflawed creations. Much like the cartilage infused with steroids will swell a subject's feeble body, new computational circuits sprouted throughout his algorithms. I found the process enlightening. I've learned what I wanted. I want to know more about you and your craft. I'm not in the habit of conversing with specimens, but if it increases your motivation to serve, what is your craft? An absurd question befitting your small-minded kind. The homunculi artists of anguish and the masters of flesh that delivers into unexplored sources of pain, the greatest among their people. My head holds a brilliant intellect, my hands command power over life and death, my body is the pinnacle of surgical discipline, our minds hold the knowledge of hundreds of generations. Are you aware of this beautiful variety of essences that can be extracted from the psychic energy of a dying sentient creature, of the ways shades of torment and methods of termination alter an essence's properties? This is a great alchemy of death and transformation. No. You might understand the most fearsome required warriors created by artisans such as you. Without a doubt, even the most skilled witches and mighty cabalites are outstripped by the pure destructiveness of our genius. Yet I long ago rose above building of commonplace battle beasts. The monstrosities I create are unique. My last specimen, the Chthontus, however you say that, the Chtonos, surpassed every trifle ever made by my rivals. I fed it elite warriors until it escaped and hid in the mangled sector. I would have caught it, but then a new idea drew my attention. At present, I am working on a grotesque of previously unknown power built from the most exquisite and exotic body parts from strong fighters. Specimen. Should you see the corpse of a fine warrior or a mighty creature lying at your feet, cut out the best part and bring it to me. I should find you some interesting samples. Okay, Marag, Ellentalk. Do you not get enough monsters in this accursed city? Good specimen. Your cooperation will be rewarded. Why did I survive the interrogation to which Marzahai brought me? Your body was given to me for disposal. It was thrown into the cesspit. The homunculus's voice grows thoughtful. It was an anomaly that the specimen did not die. I must consider fitting the disposal chute with a shredding mechanism. Yerlet shakes her head. The Master of Flesh is twisting the truth, Ellentalk. Had the Arbenia not interfered in the Archon's trial, there's a chance that no one would have survived the questioning. Let us stop there. I found some materials. Is it suitable for your new monster? The homunculus digs through his chunks of flesh with an enthusiasm of a hungry vulture. Finally, he snaps. Good materials. Good specimen. Bring me more. And we lose all those things that we had taken. That's completed. Tervantius examines the bloody parts with a lascivious interest as he rips an organ out of his own chest, adds it to the trophies, and hisses in satisfaction. An interesting composition. An unusual set of starting parameters that can be strengthened by an original mixture of essences. This will be a mighty beast. I shall call it the Anguish Prospector. You have done well, specimen, and for that you will be rewarded. Stick my leaf. The weary sigh, the homunculus turns away from you, his knife-like fingers making an unnerving scraping sound. Yep. Ooh, new armor. Fantastic. Anyway, he made this. Or we're gonna have to fight that later, right? Maybe, or maybe it'll help us. Who knows? You're no opponent, not interested.
Keep your wits about you.
I'm sure we'll get Cassio later. The chute sends spent materials to the corpse dump materials such as you. We were dumped down, I'm guessing. Come on, everyone. Wait, he's over here? Hi there. The tall Drukhari, whose body is riddled with painful-looking puncture wounds and dotted with metal rings and clamps, lets out a chuckle as you approach and begin speaking in his own language. Your elucidator hisses to life, translating the words. Look, Carrion, is this the monkey that cost you your place at the Archon's side? Marzahai's eyes flare with turquoise fire at the sight of you, an immediate, uncontrollable urge to kill. The Drukhari seizes the blades hanging from his belt and freezes at the shout of the metal-studded Xenos. Careful with the meat for the arena, Marzahai. If the Sinisthoria is short on toys for her fighters, you will be punished again. She seems to enjoy pitting you against Chimerae. Maybe this time she won't deem it necessary to give you back your skin after you slay them all. Motionless, Marzahai turns his head towards his kin, and you notice a thin red stripe on his neck below his ear, like a fresh stitch. Shaken with barely controllable rage, the former Draken stares at you with dark eyes. So you and your rabble are the champions of the local arena. Abus frowns at the sound of the elucidator and turns away from them, dismissively exchanging a few words with the witch standing next to him. The mocking laughter and haughty look in your direction leave no doubt about the subject of their conversation. So Marzahai was skinning me to fight like this? Well, that is a balm to my heart and also delight to my eyes. Snap the elucidator shut and address Marzahai. Your kin do not seem overly fond of you. Marzahai casts a contemptuous glance at the witches and without hesitation switches to low gothic. This witch cult scum is not my kin. Halfborns like Abus belong here in the filth of the chasm. He cuts himself off, his gloves squeaking in protest as he clenches his fists. I saw what happened at the trial. You were tricked. Terraria narrowed his eyes. Tervincius's creation must have been a low-grade imitation of the Mirage if it did not completely overwhelm you. Even if what you say is true, what is it to you? I am trapped. You are trapped. We could help each other. You will help me. The Drukhari snorts disdainfully. Why would the quarry help the hunter if you expect me to believe that? Let's make a deal. You will help me take out my enemies, and I shall help you take out yours. Marzai lifts his chin. He lets out a hiss, more pensive than angry. Abus makes an impatient gesture. I'm tired of listening to you and your old friend whispering in that primitive babble. Enough, we must go. Marzahai grudgingly obeys the order, but as he walks away, he cannot resist tossing another unreadable look in your direction. We have to win the arena battle. Alright, I'm going to go through all that gear and level up Adira, and I'll be back, because we've got a lot of gear to go through now. Alright, just real quick before I forget, we took heightened hunting surge. Basically, whenever enemies could bite critical hit, more damage for the bounty hunter. Be right back after we look at all the gear. Okay, that took me a long time, but we're equipped. Let me know if I got any of this stuff wrong. I'm just going to hover over it. You can check it out if you want. If I got anything wrong and you think I need to replace them with certain things that I used to have on, let me know. But otherwise, you know, yeah, it took a long this was a long process. So go ahead and pause if you actually want to read every one of these. I'm not gonna, I didn't change these. I'm not going to take a long time looking at that. We don't have any gloves or boots for her yet. Two on her. Pascal here. I think I got Pascal mostly right. I don't really know how high I need to make his tech use and logic. I don't know if I need to keep boosting it with stuff, but yeah. We'll see. And boom. All right. That is that. Let's get out of here.
I always keep my options
Can we actually
open.
talk to you now? The bars of the cage are sturdy enough to top a tank or the fury of a post-human Ulfar.
Oh, to see them cut down.
Singing softly under his breath, the man of enormous proportions is intently stripping raw meat from the bone in his teeth. His unwashed red hair is falling to his face, his beard is matted and bloodstained, and the aforementioned teeth look more like fangs than any other human equivalent. A less knowledgeable person might not recognize this giant humanoid, but you are well aware that this is a space marine and angel of the Emperor. Dang it. His body is covered in primitive scar tattoos, the meaning of which deludes you. Glory to the Emperor.
For us and the All-Father. What do you want?
Study the man. The huge body with scraggly, overgrown red hair perfectly suits the deep, chilling voice of this man, or the beast in the guise of a man. Tribal scar-like tattoos cover his chest, arms, and back, and you glimpse intricate braids and a mass of unwashed hair. His body bears so many pale scars that you cannot count them all, and the muscles bulge beneath his skin like boulders. He looks like a statue carved from stone. It is clear that captivity has sapped this prisoner of none of his physical power. Your assessment is confirmed when you spot the remains of the Drukhari in the pile of carrion at his feet, likely one of the homunculus' servants. The Drukhari flesh appears to be making a fine snack for your new acquaintance. Who are you?
I am a wolf.
How did you come to be here?
My pack answered the Inquisition's call and came to the Koronus Expanse. There was a battle, and then the young wolves yearning to be meat for their brotherlings. To a feast of bolters they went out roving. Though they were but few, one long fang with them went loping. Not to see them cut down by scythes unclean. The pups he sent scattering, and there stood alone the paths guarding. For a foe he long spied, one worthy among unworthy. The song of swords singing, they clashed with clamor and skill, until stood the old wolf upon the bones. Then, by the birds of battle, was he brought down. Was that clear enough? This saga sounds less interesting in prose.
Wish to know more about your brothers.
That butcher sent you to spy for him, did he? Or do they know nothing of the Emperor's angels, the space wolves of Fenris, or the great Layman Russ in your corner of the galaxy?
Why did the homunculus keep you in a cage?
For his own safety. When I am not busy killing inhuman spawn in the arena, the Xenos fear my will.
I want to help you.
Who are you to offer me help? You stink of Xenos. I see you are on friendly terms with them. You are not sitting in a cage, and you smell of someone else. Someone spiteful and cunning. You cannot help me.
Pointed the piece of meat in his hand. Don't they feed you?
A predator does not eat only when it is hungry. There are many reasons to eat.
There must have been a reason for this bloody repast. For a moment, the vicious grin loses some of its sincerity, and bloodthirsty prisoner casts an intense, scrutinizing look at your face, trying to read your thoughts. You must be planning to escape, yes?
Escape? What for? Here I eat, here I kill. Why would I want to leave?
No more questions. Listen closely to the song the prisoner is singing to himself. You do not know the language. The sounds seem crude and mangled, but not entirely lacking the harsh dignity of a form of Gothic, while also sounding similar to the rumble of landscape, sharp and choppy guttural phrases tumbling forth in a harsh rhythm. What's the song about?
It is about starlight glittering in the blood of heroes. Snow marked by the footsteps of merciless hunters. The Faisalin haze that hangs over corpses torn apart by scavengers. In a word, home.
Beautiful.
Of course. The Allfather granted me the honor of tasting the mead of the Skjalds. I have composed 1,000 verses for my brothers. Verses of passion and pride, calls to battle. Verses that pierce the heart, and merry ones. Like the laugh of a madman who lost his sanity to a winter storm.
A warrior such as you could prove useful to me.
To get what you want, you will have to convince two very headstrong individuals. Me and my captor. That claw-handed Xenos.
Step away from the cage. Can I actually convince you to give him to me? Discuss what you expect of me. Ask, what is your quarrel with the witches? Lately they have shown arrogance and disrespect toward me. They want to rise in the eyes of the Archon and belittle me. They rank their tasteless flesh dances above my art. They come to my abode to gawk at my treasured secrets. It's time the chasm was reminded that witches too can bleed. Tell me more about the arena. Witches rule the arenas. This is the way of the spires. They are lethal bridges of our dead gods. When they enter the arena, the crowd writhes in ecstasy, but this is a rare sight. Typically, their fosterlings, the bloodstained proselytes, oversee the butchery. These are the best killers and athletes who serve the cult. Such arrogant upstarts, they have been undefeated for far too long. When Sinisthoria reigned over the cult of fatal thirst, the proselytes behaved with more respect. The senior succubus is withdrawn into the shadows. Now Koronus reigns in the arena, and Tazara leads the raids. An insolent hag and a presumptuous nonity, a perfect match. As soon as Tazara drew her final breath, Koronus's ambitions doubled. She became utterly insufferable. Last time I was in the arena, I saw Mars High. What was he doing there? Your memory is weakened by the delirious influence of the controlling worm. You personally condemned him. That brazen, ambitious, and woefully imprudent whelp, he was cast down from the dragons of the Cabal, but earned the good graces of the witches of the Fatal Thirst in his very first fight in the arena. He was invited to join their finest, the bloodstained proselytes. Some say he was involved in the death of their succubus, Tazara. If so, then Marzahai may be disappointed by his reception in the ranks of the cult. What is your connection to the arena of the Fatal Thirst? My servants harvest meat in the chasm and delivers it to their bloody performances. I improve it with augments and stimulants to make it interesting enough for the witches will enjoy killing it. Sometimes I indulge them with little treats, biomachines, or beasts molded by my surgical genius. It must be the most powerful Drakari in the chasm. Not just the chasm, the entire cabal of the Reaving Tempest. Depends on my augments and essences, which is how I secured the chasm as my domain. Here I never lacked subjects or spare parts. I see. Have you enough? Servanius, I offer my apologies for seeking your aid without proper respect. What payment can I offer you for your valuable time and attention? Your paltry possessions do not interest me. If you had something that could intrigue a master sculptor such as I, perhaps remarkable pieces of organics, then I might be able to give you a few short moments of my time. If to sacrifice you want artisans of flesh, then I'm ready to offer myself as one. Will you take my flesh? I will take more than flesh. I can extract something far more value from a single shred of your organics. The molecule smells unnervingly. This does interest me. I will not remove much of her. Her functionality will not suffer. You're let why? This will be the step upon the path of atoning for the errors of my past. Sacrifice will bring us closer to your salvation. I will commit myself into the hands of this tormentor. No. You let frowns, you catch a strange look in her eye. I measure sadness, relief, and shame. I must take my leave. I want to see what he does first. Save. Pay for it. Rummaging through what you have, Gervanius pulls out a fragment of flesh that caught his eye. He splits off a piece of it and places it in his mouth. Curious, you've read my... Oh, I guess we didn't even know that. I already have this. I would like to take the Space Marine you keep in the cage. Gervanius makes remain silent for a long moment. Limbs behind him click ominously. The monkey male with an altered genetic structure has such phenomenal parameters. I previously studied 2 other specimens of the same breed, but have yet to untangle their genetic secrets. He also performs well enough in the arena. Losing this final specimen would be an undesirable outcome. Denied. With him, I would definitely succeed. It would further both of our interests. If you are so helpless, then what was the use of letting you live? Surely the loss of some monkey could never impede the work of a mind as great as yours. Perhaps the genetic subtype of all 3 specimens was defective, and this is the cause of my limited success. In that case, the loss of the subject specimen would not be significant. I recommend pain as a means of pacification, and you can take his armor. I found it entirely unintriguing. Gives me the monkey. I must take my leave. You give me his armor, you say? Where? Give big armor. I want to wear Space Marine armor. I shouldn't be big enough to wear Space Marine armor, honestly. I need your help. The prisoner looks at you without stopping his chewing, but his expression shifts subtly, as if his affected crudeness of mind and manner has been replaced by focus and cunning. I'm planning an escape. Are you with me?
Why would I be? You are a stranger. How can I trust you? You could be an enemy. Worse, you could be an idiot.
We're both servants of the Emperor. We ought to help each other in the perilous place.
Do you serve the Emperor? Or are you a puppet with the hand of that Xenos butcher up your arse? How am I to know whose words you speak? Yours or his? How am I to know what plot you're trying to draw me into?
Wish you would have slayed Xenos with me.
Why didn't you say that at the start? What did you expect? Did you think you would waft the scent of slaughter under the bloodthirsty killer's nose, and it would rush off to do your bidding?
You, warrior, have the honor of standing shoulder to shoulder with the true hero of the Imperium.
A true hero? Is that right?
I have enacted my will without fear of death. My valor has been celebrated long before I became a rogue traitor.
Do you realize who you are bragging to, mortal? I have faced enemies in 1,000 battles. the bodies of those I have slain could pay the path from Fenris to holy terror. My name is known to everyone in the chapter.
Well, my name is known to everyone in the Koronus Expanse. I am Gregor.
Well, I think I have heard of you. You truly are stout-hearted, they say, and have proved yourself in the past. Very well. It will be no shame at all to go into battle with you. Even though you cannot hope to compete with an angel of the Emperor for sheer glory. It seems Tervantius is not as clever as he likes to appear if he's letting me out of the cage. The joke is on him. Good steel I have already, but if we are going hunting, I will need my wolf skin. What did you say your name was?
Yes, I have a space marine. Ulfar's abilities. Ulfar is a space wolf, a mighty space marine. His proportions instill respect in his allies and fear in his foes, but because Ulfar takes up 4 cells instead of 1, certain mechanics may work differently for him. Ulfar does not use cover or conventional human armor and weapons. Ulfar's unique ability allows him, once per combat, instead of losing consciousness, to have his wounds reduced to 0 to become incapacitated for 2 rounds. While in this state, Ulfar cannot be targeted by attacks or suffer damage. He also counts as a full cover for his allies. Once 2 rounds have passed, Ulfar can act again and regains 50% of his maximum wounds. Furthermore, Ulfar is an Arc Militant. An Arc Militant's keystone ability allows them to gain a stack of versatility each time they make an attack, whose type is different from the previous one the Arch Militant used. For the persistence ability, attack types are single shot, single melee attack, area ranged attack, and burst attack. For each stack of the effect on the Arch Militant, their weapon skill and ballistic skill are increased by 5. If the Arch Militant accumulates 4 or more stacks, their attacks start dealing additional damage. We got a big boy, and we get the power armor. Definitely gonna have to check out leveling him up. Let's get him equipped before the end of the episode, though. What a big guy. 10% armor. As long as the wearer has performed both melee and ranged attacks this turn, every enemy in the 5-cell radius that is smaller suffers +1 perplexed. That looks sick, dude. Is he a... No, he's a space wolf. I just keep thinking he's a blood angel for some reason. Wolf skin. 65% armor, +20 strength. Jesus, he's huge! Put on an Astartes bolter pistol. There's an Astartes combat knife as well. Is that really what we want him to wield, though? Like, is that the weapon? I mean, it's 16 to 27 damage. It's pretty crazy good. But we have an Astartes chainsword, which is 19 to 30. There you go. That's what you should be wielding. And we have an Astartes bolter, which is just better. I'm just looking at what we got, you know? And then what do? Your athletics, obviously, your carouse, and that's pretty much it. Here, have this. Be a little, might be cool. I mean, unless I find something else I want to equip onto him. He is using a pistol. Possibly. I mean, I guess we can throw this on you.
I don't like that.
I guess not. Sure, why not? I mean, that's really what he does. Let's go with a bunch of crack grenades and call it good. All right, we have a giant space wolf. I'm gonna level him up and I'll come back when he is leveled up. All right, we have leveled up Ulfar here, and we're gonna go for some heavy weapons. Finally have someone who I feel like actually will be awesome doing it. So he started out with all the base stuff of like all the way up to here, and then we chose always ready, so he begins with 2 stacks of versatility, ballistic skill, reckless rush because we can get it to 0 AP, heavy weapon proficiency, athletics, heavy gunner, agility, overpower for more critical hit chance, discipline for +1 stack of versatility whenever they get an extra turn, athletics, agility, steady superiority, just probably will never use it, but we took it because it's a better one. More athletics, all out as long as they have stacks of versatility, reckless rush costs 0, and they'll always have stacks of fertility because we begin combat with 2 stacks from always ready. Perception, we took agility first because we want him to be higher up in the initiative if possible, and then perception to decrease dodge chances, breaking point +2 damage and ignore deflection, wildfire. Next attack will cost 0 AP, will not count towards the attack limit, and this ability is reduced by 1 for every 4 stacks of versatility. So it costs 3 AP, but not really if you get a bunch of versatility. Critical versatility, for each stack's versatility, you get more damage, perception, more athletics, flash fire, and more perception. And flash fire makes -1 AP for every 3 stacks of versatility instead of every 4 stacks. And that is our giant space marine, who doesn't have his armor. Not really. But he does. But it doesn't show up on it. It's bull. Alright, that's gonna be this episode, guys. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.